Welcome back to Astro Auto Styling. I'm Lucas, and today we're going to be wrapping this Genesis Coupe. So, like most of my videos, I show the difficult areas of the car or areas you might have problems with. And looking at this car, it's not too bad. However, the disassembly is a nightmare. So let me show you. The real issue here is the door handle. Now, on most modern cars, there's usually like a rubber cover right in that circle, which you've taken out. And once you take that out or unscrew it, you're able to remove the lock mechanism, which I've done. Now, the problem, and especially on this Genesis that has the keyless entry, is the electrical connector, which you'll see right here, that wire for the keyless entry. Typically, if you have a connector like this, all you do is you remove the door panel, and then you can get to the connector behind. The way they've done it on this car is frustrating because if we look in here, if we see that connector, see if I can point right there. That's the connector down there. Okay. So normally I'd take off the panel and then I would just unclip that. The problem is that is behind the glass. You can see the glass right there. The connector is reflecting off it, kind of where that beam of light is. I tried using a pry tool to get that out. I mean, very gently. I didn't want to scratch the glass, and you just can't get enough leverage on it to unclip that. And then I was just thinking, reconnecting that is going to be a pain. The way you're supposed to take that connector off is take off the door panel, and there's another metal panel behind that. Remove that and take out the glass. That's how it's supposed to be done. Now, I'm not a mechanic. I'm not a technician, nothing like that. I'm just a vinyl wrapper, right? All of my car knowledge from disassembly or reassembly is from wrapping cars. That stuff kind of makes me a little nervous. So what do? What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do something that I might get yelled at for. When people do commercial graphics, they typically don't remove handles, or sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but they want to get it done very quickly, right? So one of the ways, they just wrap around the handle, or I've seen this, they take it half off like this, and to try and get more coverage, they cut a little hole in the vinyl and slide it around the handle and then just lay it here or tack it here and lay the rest of the panel. I think that's what I'm going to try. So now let's look at a few other areas that you should be aware of if you're wrapping a Genesis Coupe. This is the front bumper, and due to this angle of the bumper, I'm going to put an inlay up here all the way around. So when I lay this, I'm able to tuck in on the bottom, and the top I'll just cut and then lay over top of my inlay there. And we got to go underneath a bit too. So just be aware of that. And lastly, this is not a issue specific to the Genesis, but something you should be aware of. So there is an aftermarket spoiler on this car that I took off and I'm going to have to remount. But the plan was to remove these, obviously, these mounting points, and then wrap it, obviously, in one piece. Why are they still on the car? Well, if we look under here, let's see what's going on. We got a nut that's caked in some type of coating or sealant. There's another hole there with the bolted nut. But the real issue, close this, is this bolt here. Look at this. That one's flush. But this one, I mean, what's happening here? I didn't mount this wing, right? I don't know who did. I don't know if the customer did or he bought it like that. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know. That's the important point. I don't know how it was put together. And looking at it, I wouldn't say it's a 10 out of 10 job. I mean, it's on the car, but if we look at that bolt, it's not flush at all. So if I have to take that off, I don't know how it's supposed to go back together. So the thing is, if I didn't notice that that bolt was like that, I would be trying when I put it back together to get that bolt flush. I don't know if it's possible for that bolt to be put flush the way that they've mounted it. So just a heads up, if there's aftermarket bits on the car, make sure you look at how they've been installed, because that will greatly affect your ability to put it back together. Okay, enough chit chat, let's get wrapping. So this is a finished product of wrapping a door cup and the door handle without removing the handle. I think it looks really clean, but let me know. You can yell at me in the comments, like I was saying, if you don't think it looks good. But no risk, didn't have to take out the glass, didn't have to risk damaging the car, and I think it looks really, really clean. This is the inlay right here for the front bumper that I was talking about. Okay, so by putting that there, it allowed me to cut this out and then fold the bottom part in to get that. But what I didn't mention was that there's also this little area here, right here, underneath the main part of the bumper. So I'm going to do an inlay here as well, do this piece separate, and then the main piece of the bumper will come to like right there. That'll be the main piece, and then this inlay here will be the separate piece. This is the front bumper finished. Again, we had the two inlays here and on the other side. If we come in close, you can see under there, it looks nice and clean. So it helped us get that stretch to make sure we had enough material.